Hello, this is going to be a bit of a short video, but we are going to be talking about mass hysteria events. Something I find quite interesting. I don't think they really know what triggers these things. Possibly sort of a mixture of people just being quite suggestible, as in like easily led into things. There's also, like, my friend talked about a theory called like the hive mind, where like there's a reason, for example, that everyone will go into a shop at the same time. Like if you've ever worked in retail or anything, you could be like, oh my god, everyone just comes in at once all the time. It always happens because everyone's sharing thoughts and they all think, one person thinks, I'm going to go into this shop, then someone else thinks, I'm going to go into this shop, I'm going to go into this shop, because they're reading each other's minds without even knowing. Whereas my mum said, well, it's more like you look into a shop, if you see someone else in there, you're more inclined to go in there because someone else is in there already. And I'm like, yeah, probably that. So mass hysteria events, very interesting. One famous one for me, which I already knew about, was the dancing plague of 1518. So in Strasbourg, on a nice summer's day, Frau Troffea started it all. She really started the trend by randomly dancing in the streets for almost a week straight. I have questions about this though, because she must have drank, she must have eaten in theory, and she must have slept. So I don't really get that. But anyway, or maybe she didn't sleep, I don't know. So yeah, almost a week straight. Did I say that? I don't know. And then within 1 month, 400 people living there were also in the streets dancing, until they literally dropped. So they suffered, obviously, exhaustion, heart attacks, strokes, etc. The usual things you would expect from dancing for so long. It's kind of like marathon runners. When they're running, you shouldn't really run for as long as marathon runners run for, which is why some marathon runners have died, because they've been running. Same kind of thing, except it's really not, because they've been dancing for like a week. I don't really understand this bit. The authorities ordered those suffering from the affliction of dancing to dance day and night. They believed they had hot blood, which is basically they had the demon inside them. So to exorcise that demon, they had to dance daily and nightly and ever so lightly. They had to do that to, get that demon out of them. And they actually went as far as to hire musicians just to really get things moving. You know, they had like a proper stage and everything with musicians there and encouraging these people to dance the devil out of them, basically, which totally makes sense. So the dancing plague actually spread to Holland, Switzerland, and Germany. So, I mean, what the hell caused it? Some people theorised that they ingested ergo, a toxic mold that causes spasms. So spasms and dancing are a little bit different. Spasm is kind of like, and dancing is like, wouldn't really put the two together. But yeah, it doesn't, as it said, it doesn't explain the non-stop dancing, obviously. Whereas others blame it just basically on a suggestible population. So in Germany, they saw Strasbourg dancing away, and then people in Germany were like, I want to get in on that. So someone started in Germany, other people joined in, then Holland got a whiff and were like, yeah, boy, let's go. And then it just went like that. No, I don't think so somehow. So the next epidemic, excuse me while I try to read this word, Tanganyika laughing epidemic of 1962. In Kashasha, 1962, never-ending laughing spread through a school. The students experienced this laughing ranging from a few hours to 16 days. Can you imagine laughing for 16 days straight? I can't. I'm not really a very laughy person. I don't laugh that much. I don't really have like proper fits of laughter very often at all. So because of this, it got so out of hand that the school even had to shut down for a little while. I don't know how long it was, But this didn't prevent it from spreading through the community. So other people nearby were like, I wonder what the laughing was like. So in total, it lasted around 2 years, not like from start, one thing from start to finish, but as it spread, if you know what I mean. It affected over 1,000 people. Now, what would the side effects of laughing constantly be? Well, students suffered fainting, respiratory issues, and rashes. Perhaps that is what I'm suffering from right now. Just a bout of laughing hysteria caused a rash on my face. It's really pissing me off, by the way. It's been weeks. So yeah, the weird side effects of laughing too much. And the diagnosis of this event was mass hysteria. The best diagnosis they had. I mean, what else do you diagnose it with, to be fair? The next one was the writing tremor epidemic. In 1892, students in schools in Germany, Switzerland and France, why is it always Germany and Switzerland? Experienced uncontrollable shaky hands when trying to write. So basically they introduced just loads of writing into schools. So like writing exercises, and this caused this. So some experienced amnesia and changes to their mental state as well. Like just writing constantly for so long can change your mental state. I mean, the whole shaky hands because you're writing just for hours and hours at a time makes perfect sense to me. And like the ache, like if they ached and stuff like that, obviously. So that explains it. So basically the diagnosis of that, for example, was it was the tedious, repetitive writing exercises that took their toll on the students. And this lasted roughly 4 months. Haters, however, said it was just a way, or just an excuse to get out of doing their writing exercises. Why don't you try writing for hours at a time and see how you feel? Because back then, like, were they? Yeah, they were used to writing a lot, I guess. Yeah, quills and shit like that. Things like way back then, before they really knew, before common sense was a thing, I feel like, they took things to the extreme. It's like, oh, let's introduce writing exercises in school. I bet it was like, let's have them write continuously for 8 hours a day with no break. That was probably that kind of thing, because let's be honest, they're mad back then. They were just like, everything was to the extreme, I feel. But anyway, that is basically it. There were a lot more, but they didn't really interest me. I think I might have to dig into, like, there was the Salem witch trials, but I feel like I maybe just do a whole video on that, because that's crazy in itself. Like, something happens completely random to somebody, and then they're like, you over there, random person in the corner not doing anything suspicious at all, you killed her, you put a curse on her, you're a witch, and then they burnt them. Isn't that crazy? But anyway, thanks for watching. Sorry this video is so late. Anyway, take care of yourselves. See you later. Goodbye.